you're not going to miss out on some classic moment. It's not going to be When Harry Met Sally.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
The fear of missing out on New Year's Eve is bigger than any other day of the year. Roofied, I didn't even think of that.
Hey, hey, hey.
Johnny McFighterson versus Dirk. I got news for you. I got friends at that country club. They will call the cops. Let's assume this girl's over 18. Dear God, let her be over 18. You got Bert and Ernie sheets on your bed. You're not getting laid.
Now this is a song.
Do you think you're awesome when you're drunk? You're super amateur.
Arrested for what, babe? Being awesome?
It's so good to see you this New Year's Eve. And everybody who's joining us, it's so good to see you this New Year's Eve. Here we are talking about why New Year's is the fucking worst. Tell us, Will.
That's not my sheet. This is my sheet.
So that's step one. Find the right sheet. Because I got to tell you, let's say you bring a girl home on New Year's Eve. Maybe you've got Bert and Ernie sheets, right? And they're on there. Let's assume this girl's over 18. Dear God, let her be over 18. You got Bert and Ernie sheets on your bed. You're not getting laid.
Now this is a song all about how my life got flipped, turned up eyebrow.
All right, first off, with a bullet, amateur hour, man. It's just amateur hour.
And it gets by McHenry. Here comes Ramirez. Might have a play. Ramirez is in there. That throw gets away. And here comes Segura. And
There are people who go out to bars, but much less frequently than you. There are people out drinking, and there are people out drinking much less frequently than you.
When you say you mean the Queen's you, right?
Oh yeah. That's the royal you. That's the royal you. Not you, Dirk, because you're not a lushy. I'm talking mostly about me.
Gotcha.
As an inveterate alcoholic with years of drinking under my belt, I find it insulting that I have to go out and mingle with amateurs on what should be a power drinking night, and they don't know how to power drink.
oh, come on!
Jen and I have a long-standing tradition of not going out on New Year's Eve. Nothing worse than going out and getting either a person who needs to be taken care of because they're so drunk, they don't know how to drink, they don't know what they can hold, and all of a sudden you got their hair back and they're puking in your toilet somehow because somehow they get to your house because you're the only responsible one left because you drink all the time. And if you're a lush, you can really hold that alcohol even if it's champagne. Or number two, you run into Johnny Let's Fight.
I forgot Johnny Let's Fight. Just so everybody knows, Johnny Let's Fight is that guy who you inevitably run into every time, who you looked at his wife, or you looked at his girlfriend, or you bumped into him at a bar, and the guy's out looking for a fight.
Yeah, so it's a real quick and easy way to find out who this guy is. A, has a suit on, and it's his dad's suit or a suit he just bought. Or B, it's New Year's Eve. It's 31 degrees. Between 16 and 31 degrees, he's wearing a t-shirt, no sleeves. You happen to look over at his girl because his girl's the bartender. Dude, you checking my girl out? I'm like, I'm getting a drink. That's my girlfriend right there. Okay, Johnny.
Where I draw the line is do not touch my girl. Do not get touchy. Conversation is super innocent until there's touch. I was at a bar with a girl I used to date. This guy was talking to her and he started kind of getting touchy. And I just went over there, I just grabbed his hand, I took it off, that's it. And then he was like, oh, sorry. And he was a pretty big guy. I'm fucking savage with that.
Nice suit, by the way. It fits real well.
Nice suit. Like, this is the other thing about New Year's. You get a lot of people going to places they shouldn't go. That's across the socioeconomic spectrum, right? Johnny Fighter guy shouldn't be at my cocktail members only club on New Year's Eve, nor should I be in the dive bar on the corner, because those are both places where I don't belong.
Here we are. We're at the country club. Okay.
Yep.
We're having a nice evening, and somebody's brought their nephew or their buddy who's in town. They were in town for Christmas, but they stayed for New Year's. They didn't even know they were going to stay. So they're coming to the party now.
Right.
Okay. And they borrowed a suit. That's how you know that's Johnny McFight. Okay.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Johnny's like, dude, it's real nice to meet you. I'm like, oh, hey, nice to meet you too. Oh no, I was talking to your wife. Oh, that's great news. Ah, shit. Here we go.
Here we go.
You've got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold. I wasn't talking to you.
Johnny McFighterson versus Dirk. I got news for you. I got friends at that country club. They will call the cops. A lot of times Johnny McFight's girl is like, he was checking me out. You know what? Shut your mouth, bitch. Get me my drink and shut your mouth. It leads us to one of mine, which is crowds, man.
Crowd.
All right, it's getting crowded in here. Everyone out. Everyone out. Come on. Not you, Scotty. Not you, number 2. Not you, Frau. Not you, gold member. Not you guys back there.
It doesn't matter what the capacity of the club where you're going to see your music is. It doesn't matter if they say limited, this party's limited to a certain amount of people. It doesn't matter what the fire code is at whatever particular venue you've decided to go to your party you didn't want to go to at. There's going to be a crowd, and there's going to be, if there's 1,000 people at one party, there's 2 bars.
Maybe 2 bars, maybe on the high side.
They're never like a regular bar. It's a mobile bar they've put up. You've got a buffet over here with a selection of fried foods, even though you paid $500 for tickets. What you get is onion rings. Maybe you got some mozzarella sticks that are cold, because you're not getting real food, not on New Year's Eve.
Do you support outlawing fried foods?
I'm sorry. How does that relate to?
Because fried foods contribute to heart disease, don't they?
You're fighting for food. You're fighting for drinks. Nobody's having a good time. Nobody's having fun.
No. I lived in a condo that had a event space on the first floor. They invited us all to their big New Year's blowout. Black tie. First time I walk in, I look, and the line for the bar is 45 to 50 people deep. And it's the only bar.
You were going to say something about the reasonable pricing that is New Year's Eve.
Let's talk about overpriced New Year's. When I go to New York, I expect to pay $12 to $15 for a draft beer. I don't see a reason to justify tripling and quadrupling prices on New Year's, and don't even get me started on Uber rush pricing.
We've got a great video for you guys today, how you can make $75 an hour hacking Uber surges. This is my greatest trick I've ever implemented in rideshare driving.
I talked about a few themes there. You've hit one. When you're young, you want to do things that are too expensive for you on New Year's Eve. So you can't really do them all the way, but you try to do them anyway. When you're older, smarter, wiser, you now have the money to do these things. You don't care to do them.
Accurate. It was very amusing when I told my wife we were doing this podcast. She said, I love New Year's. And I'm like, do you?
Right?
As soon as I said, what are some of the things bad about New Year's, she started rattling stuff off.
Back to your point about overpricing. It'll lead to another one of my items about why New Year's Eve sucks. What did you just pay for that dress?
Oh, dude, I hadn't even considered.
I dare you to wear that dress again. Period.
Wait for it. I'm going to compound the problem of the dress with the coat, because once you get there, what are you going to do with the coat? Because you want to show off that $400 dress or $800, whatever a dress costs. You got to find a place to put it, right? So you find it in huge crowds. Maybe I can put it at coat check. I don't know what coat check is.
So, lady. Hit the road, sport.
Coat gets stuffed in the corner. You end up getting drunk. You spend 3 hours looking for it. You never find the coat. You end up going home. You're upset because you lost the coat.
Now, let me just throw out another option on that evening. You've gone out to your venue, to your party, to your restaurant, to your bar, wherever you are, okay, to your country club. If there is no coat check, if it's either going in that corner, you're right, and never to be seen again, or there's another option, Will. You or me get to hang on to that coat all fucking night.
I am a very lucky man in the sense that my wife will never actually wear a coat out.
And that's the way it should be. That coat is used for approximately 3% of the evening. But these things, all of them lead to my number one theme. Why are we doing this? Because especially when you're younger, but even as you get older, it's New Year's Eve. You're buying this dress. You're paying for this Uber. You're paying for these tickets to this party. You're going to New York. You're dealing with these crowds. The fear of missing out on New Year's Eve is bigger than any other day of the year.
All right. She's hanging on by a thread.
We're running out of time. Please, doctor, what's wrong with her? Mr. Mitchell, I'm afraid your daughter is dying of FOMO.
Everyone's hanging out without me.
This is one of the worst cases of FOMO I've ever seen.
Nowadays, it's you want to get the picture for social media. I got to show everybody I was out. Now, if you're our age, this is going to be hard for some people to believe. Not only did we not have social media when we were your age, if you're younger, so that wasn't the big deal. We just wanted to talk about it. At this point still, now, even though we use social media, we still don't care.
Yeah.
It's weird. I know. It's unbelievable, unfathomable to some of our younger audience who we love. We don't care that you see what we did, like, and it was awesome. We just don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
You think it's going to be one of these classic nights in your life? You think it's going to be a night you talk about forever? The nights that stick out to me on New Year's Eve involve a German Shepherd stepping on my penis while I'm trying to sleep, but I don't have my coat, my suit jacket, because it was puked on outside of the front window of a car, in through my window of a car. Puke on that, sleeping, got colder, German Shepherd, who wanted a piece of me, stepping on my crotch. These are the things I remember. I have no idea who the people were that night that I was with. Zero idea. I cannot remember. You're not going to miss out on some classic moment. It's not going to be When Harry Met Sally.
I'm sorry, Harry. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you're feeling lonely, but you just can't show up here, tell me you love me, and expect that to make everything all right. It doesn't work this way.
I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
You're not going to meet the person you fall in love with. You're not going to get proposed to that night. And if you do, well, I would like to put the link to our cliche video below. Rant over.
I would agree with that. I think that is a very, very true statement. I want to address a thing, right?
I'm in.
Safety on New Year's, right? This is an interesting thing, right? You just got you got yacked on in a car with some people you either don't remember or don't know or aren't thoughtful enough however many years later to recall. When I, as a girl dad, think upon New Year's, and this idea has been recently implanted in me by someone else, I dread my daughter having FOMO and going out and hitting a big crowd and also getting roofied.
Roofied. I didn't even think of that.
By Johnny McFight.
Slipped a Mickey by old Johnny McFighterson.
Yeah.
It's Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. So let's get ready, okay? Hey, hey, hey!
I've seen people get taken such advantage of on New Year's and not been able to do anything about it because their friends were such willing participants. It makes me feel powerless, makes me feel scared, and I don't like that at all.
Well, here's the other thing. New Year's Eve, again, like St. Patrick's Day, I'm probably not going to help you if you've been roofied because I assume you're just drunk and that's your boyfriend. Like, there's so many amateurs out. There's so many people draped over other people. I don't know. On a normal night, if I'm out having dinner or something, or we stop at the bar for a drink and I see that, I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
New Year's Eve, I'm like, oh, there they go. I told you know what? God, everywhere we go, always amateurs there. This will lead us into something that I initially wrote down and thought of in a different way than this, but it does speak to this, so I'll just say it. When it comes to social media, when it comes to the dress you're wearing live and in person with everybody around you, when it comes to telling people about your New Year's Eve, nobody cares about you.
You think anyone in Hiroshima or Nagasaki gives a shit who built the bomb? They care who dropped it. I did. Hiroshima isn't about you.
Don't let that crybaby back in here.
I'm sorry. The truth is, you looked at yourself in the mirror more times than anybody's going to look at you. People are worried about what you think of them, and you don't care. Everything you're worried about missing out on, the way you look, what party you go to, nobody cares. Even if they hit like or love or comment on your picture, they don't actually care. They want you to like and love and comment back to their picture.
No, it's just, you said it exactly. It's just a solicitation backwards. You like it, and it's part of your social contract that you have to like their inane post back. 30 years ago, before social media, we went out because we were afraid of hearing stories or missing out, or it's honestly, I think a lot of it's because you did what you did. Now I feel like people are doing it because it's conspicuous consumption, and you got to show that you're out there and you have that fear of missing out. And I think there might just be a fear of missing out on conspicuous consumption.
I didn't realize you were going to say conspicuous consumption.
Nobody does until I do.
So remember, theme number 1 was fear of missing out.
FOMO.
Theme number 2 was you have the money when you don't care, but you don't have the money when you do care.
Right.
Number 3, you think others care. They do not.
They do not. Nope.
Here's another one I have, okay?
Let's hear it.
I don't know when the get a kiss at midnight thing happened. There's an anxiety behind that kiss if you're single. Like, you're in a group of people, everybody else is kissing somebody, you're not. It's weird. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
You too. Happy New Year, Joey.
So that do anything for you?
So many layers. I was in Panama.
The city?
No, the country. With my aunt. That's creepy following the previous statement. I was down there for Christmas and New Year's, and we were hanging out, and I was dating someone at the time. And
way to throw that in.
Just edit this to make it sound better.
You were dating your aunt. You're
No,
spending
hold on,
the
hold on,
holidays
hold on.
with your.
Hold
You're
on.
in a country where that's okay.
So I was in Panama with my aunt for Christmas and New Year's, and we were for New Year's we had gone to.
It's all right. We got 2 channels here.
We had gone to we'd been invited to a friend's condo development, right? And it was pretty awesome. It was actually a good night because it was an intimate night, and we'll talk about what can.
Dear God, this is getting deeper and deeper, buddy. It was an intimate night, was it?
Oh God, fuck. All right, I was in Panama and I was stuck at a party with a bunch of people, and it struck midnight and I didn't have anybody to kiss, and some people presented themselves to me, and I was dating somebody at the time. So what do? Do you kind of like these were not people who were like, "Oh, let's just have a kiss on New Year's." These were people who were like let's I'm a little bit drunk and I'm ready to make some bad decisions. And I was drunk and I was not ready to make some bad decisions, and I got stuck in the situation.
Now somebody wants to kiss, and it's almost like when you know what it is, it's getting caught under the mistletoe.
It is getting caught under the mistletoe.
Yeah, midnight strikes and somebody wants a kiss from you, and you're seeing somebody else, and or you're not, but you just don't want to kiss that person. So now it's not an anxiety situation where you don't have anybody to kiss. Now it's somebody wants to kiss you, and you don't want any part of that situation. How do you get out of that, Will?
Exactly the metaphor you may have been looking for. Auditors last year found the state. Hello, nice to see you. Auditors last year found the state.
It's not a situation I found myself in very often, Dirk. I found myself quite incapable of dealing with this subtly, so I just vomited. No, that's a complete and total lie. I didn't just vomit, but it would have been great if I had, wouldn't it? That would have been pretty spectacular.
Wait a second. Were you in the front seat of a car?
I was.
Oh no, you're the worst. What was your German Shepherd's
worst.
name at the time? Because I love that German Shepherd. We ended up being buddies.
Sounds like more than buddies. But yeah, I simply excused myself from the situation by turning and running away.
You ever gotten a paw job from a German Shepherd? I hope we're helping everybody here. No one cares about you. Got it. Kiss. Got it. Okay, here's another one. Here's a big one for me. You're going to end up at parties with people you don't like. You're going to end up going to the same party because all the girlfriends are going to go to the same party. It's a big party. It's at somebody's house. There's going to be a husband there you don't care for. And maybe they don't care for you. Now you're in this house. You're there for hours. Yeah,
Hey,
you
Dirk.
got one? Yeah.
I'm always the husband that they don't care for.
Don't forget, everybody's drinking. Okay? Now, God forbid the person you don't like is the person whose house it is. Now you're in a territory you don't want to be in. You're at their house, which not only do you feel like, okay, they got home field advantage, but they're probably drinking more because they don't have to catch an Uber. They're not trying to drive drunk. They're at their own house, man. They're on their own field. They're not just having champagne and beers. They're having some of the bourbon. They're having the scotch. So now they're all drunked up, and he's like, so what's up, dude? How come you don't like me?
Well, not everybody's going to like me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't need everybody. I just need enough people so I can continue doing this.
That's it. That's your night.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's the worst.
God, New Year's is the worst.
You know what else that throws me into? You know what sucks?
What?
Not drinking, being drunk.
Oh, being so drunk, you know that you're really, really drunk.
First of all, the night starts way too late because you got to be there when the ball drops, which is a stupid thing, the ball dropping. I'm not saying I'm going to pregame, but I'm definitely taking an Uber anyway. You're with people you like and you're having some drinks, and all of a sudden you're drunk, and it's like, I don't want to be drunk.
And also different Will drunk.
Like you say sarcastic things that are meaner than you think they are. Like I end up, like I'm always sarcastic, but I kind of know, I can read a room. I know what's appropriate, what's not. Give me a few drinks, all of a sudden I'm saying stuff, and it's like, that guy's laughing. That guy gets me. That guy feels me. He likes me. The rest of the room is like, oh, Jen, your husband, what a douche.
Why do you have to criticize everybody? I mean, I'm sure they have some good food.
Let's see, what was I going to say in response to that? Oh, right, I don't care.
See, now you're just being rude.
Well, be more sensitive.
Way to take a joke, Marissa.
Good one.
Hey, Marissa, whenever you talk, I want to have sex with you even less.
I have to wake up the next morning and find out what I did wrong.
Yeah, then then you're on the apology tour, but you're hungover.
I'm on the hungover apology tour, and not only that, I have the shame of falling into the category of amateur.
You're an amateur. Now, if you don't think you are because you think you're awesome when you're drunk, you're super amateur.
Arrested for what, babe? Being awesome?
Yeah, you're not in the NFL. You're playing Canadian football. You're playing Pop Warner. It's you and a bunch of fourth graders, and they're winning.
We have to accommodate the fact that all of these things we're complaining about are also us.
Talk about hangovers, Will. What's going on with hangovers?
Let me tell you what's wrong with hangovers, man. As recently as Sunday morning, I felt just really, really terrible, and I had not had that much to drink on Saturday night. Hangovers are brutal, and if you go out on New Year's and you do the FOMO New Year's, odds are pretty good you're not getting out of bed the next morning because you're just going to be so trashed. You're still going to be drunk.
Hangovers, Will. So the thing about a hangover is everything they say is true. As you get older, it gets worse, and it's incremental, and it's not it gets worse. Oh man, it used to take me like a couple hours and now it takes a day. It just keeps going. Like it doesn't stop at like, oh, it takes the whole day. It takes several days. Now, what I have realized is the older I get, it's not necessarily the alcohol that's my problem. So I don't usually wake up still drunk, although it does happen. What I do when I get drunk enough to have a hangover is I decide to eat something. And now I'm going to eat something bad. That's what my body has a problem filtering. So there's no downtime for me. You got dogs, you got a life. You can't just get up the next day like when you're a kid and have no responsibility. You got shit to do. Here are a couple things that are inconsequential. Remember Dick Clark?
We'll be done live from Times Square all night, but right now, let us get this party underway.
From Hollywood.
Yes, I remember Dick Clark. I remember Dick Clark before he had mental, brain, physical problems.
Kids, you don't know. He was great at hosting, kept you involved. You had these great bands on there. Now you got a couple options, okay? First, you can go to Ryan Seacrest. He's a pretty good Dick Clark. He's not horrible. Ryan, you do a good job up there. And, if we get enough people, we'll do a New Year's Eve show.
Oh, my God. We could live stream a New Year's Eve show.
Resolutions. So let's knock some of the big ones out. What are some of the big New Year's resolutions, Will?
Lose weight. Stop drinking. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, stop smoking. I'm not sure if that's still a big one. Find a new job. Be a better person. Start a business.
Generally, if you're going to do them, you're going to do them. And you want to lose weight? Go do it now. And that's not tomorrow, that's now. You want to start working out? Go do sit-ups and push-ups. Just go do some stuff. Will and I just started podcasting a couple months ago. Out of nowhere, boom. You want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. So we just started doing it. Here we are. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle, dance. Luckily, we go to the country club where we have a coat check and we know Jules behind the desk gets us our coats as soon as he sees us coming down the hall, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, do me, baby.
I do the Humpty Hump. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. The ball drop. Let's all watch it. Why? I just look at my watch, make out with somebody, and go bang her out or go to sleep, whatever. But
that's gonna make the final cut.
That's definitely gonna make it. Yeah, but we're old enough to remember him like before he was like, "Hey, Happy New Year's Eve." Remember that? All right, fine. Remember when he was like, "Happy New Year's Eve."
Now gather around. I'm the new fool in town, and my sounds lay down by the underground.
You suburban yuppie fuck, get out of my bar. Get out of my club. This is where I watch music. Don't you know I know the owner here?
I know the owner.
Why are you wearing a hat that makes it look like you're about to go skateboarding and at the same time do some real strong drugs?
Because I'm gonna.
Ooh. Ooh. Like nobody peed on me and I didn't pee on anybody else. That night,